thing is always so low, man. Anyway, as I was saying, this is gang stalking, man. You're like, this is what? Day 12 out of the 13th day? Wasn't a very good day today. I tried to have a good day today. But I'm like exhausted, man. Like, I'm so tired. My body is so sore. What's the matter with this thing? So not feeling well. Like, there's something, like, in so many ways, I wish I wouldn't have started a nonprofit. It's kind of ruined my life. Because what it's done is it's attracted freaks, lurkers, stalkers, gang stalkers, on all different levels, from fucking parliament buildings with the Duncan clan working for the premier to the healthcare system with the Duncan clan kidnapping John, right? Just the community in general. It doesn't take this long, people, to try and build in a universal school meal program unless you're in a corrupt fucking district, province, right? Because the people that have control of the politics want to keep it. Just like when the Black Panthers started a meal program for the kids in the United States because there was nothing for them, the children, to eat because of the poverty level was so high, right? And government wasn't doing its job because governments are supposed to help people and represent people, not just a portion of the population. I was talking to my neighbor in the neighborhood over here, and I asked him, I said, did Mr. Lace bother you when he was crowing? Because I know you said you liked him, right? Because your children enjoyed seeing him and hearing him. And he said, no, Mr. Lace never bothered me. He says, I wish I could have chickens, have fresh eggs. Andre seen Mr. Lace on a video yesterday, and he said we have to try and get him back.
I want Ladybird Speckle and Mr. Lace and Blackbird.
And you want Ladybird Speckle and Ladybird Blackbird and Mr. Lace back. We want our 3 hens back, or three chickens back. Mr. Lace and the 2 hens.
Yeah, these ones. Look.
But anyway,
These 2.
What the city is doing is being done on purpose. Because my neighbor said, he said, haven't you noticed? The city's just been terrorizing the freaking community in terms of homeowners, renters. Because what they're trying to do is demolish these old bungalows so they can bring in their condos that us people can't afford, where 60 to 70% of it is being bought from people overseas, right? And we've already been through it. Andre, turn down the volume on that because I don't want to talk very long and I don't really want it in the background because Nana's really tired right now. Did you hear what I said? Just turn it down just a little bit, okay? Because Nana's really tired right now. So he's even noticed, right, what the city's been up to in terms of boarding up houses, more people out in the streets, more unaffordable housing, especially the ones that are being built 3-bedroom apartment is like $1,150 just to move in. And these are old apartment buildings with cockroaches and bed bugs and mice in them that should be renting at $800 for 3 bedrooms, not $1,150. And that's just entry, move in the first year, and then every year, because it's an apartment, you know, they can, because the government, the BC Liberal government took off the rental cap, right? Because they're just flushing everybody out into the streets, putting us in this radioactive rain that's pouring down buckets of salt. And God knows what else is in it, because it's very corrosive, people. And it tastes like crap. It's poisoning everything. So if my neighbor is noticing it, and I've been talking about it, it kind of makes you wonder who the culprits are. The ones that don't take any social responsibility. You know, there is no social justice. There is no social responsibility. You can't expect poor people to pull themselves up by their bootstraps with nothing. You know, you hear immigrants, well, I came to your country with nothing. Yeah. But when you came, a lot of you came in a day when houses were affordable and the federal government helped you to buy houses. And when you bring more into the country, you help them. These people don't oftentimes come without any help. When I moved into Wally's house, that house for 7 years, I'm telling you, people, I don't know what kind of house it was, but when I was looking at the house, every room I went into was a Punjabi man. It had 5 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. It had kitchen, 2 kitchens, 2 living rooms. Every room had a man in it from India. And when I moved in, for the first little while, when GST time came, there would be like 12 GST checks that would come in, 12 different individual names, and 1 family allowance check for the number of people that were living in that house. Because they lived there. And they probably bought a house because they helped each other to do it. Well, people like me get just stuck in other people's fucking yards with no help. With no help, people. It's not even my yard. I don't own this house. The people next door don't own the house. They are renters too. But the owner is making good money off that house next door. But yet my landlord won't deal with the drainage tile problems that's flooding this yard and expects me to take this to court with no money and no way to get there. Because Uncle John went into a temporary care ward where 95% of the people, whether they're white, brown, or black, it doesn't matter. They were all freaking immigrants that couldn't speak English properly. The only people who could speak properly were the 5% of whites. And I've been listening to this Burns, Oregon stuff going on, and how people are starting to feel like with this military freaking SWAT shit team. It is not federal government stuff. It's freaking Blackwater mercenaries. I didn't know what a mercenary was. I realized that a mercenary is now different than a missionary. I looked up the word mercenary, and it was like, bingo,
Bingo.
bingo,
Bingo.
light bulb moment. That's what John fell into. Was a cesspool. It was a cesspool of mercenaries that work under the dictatorship of a few rotten to the core white people
Did you see them
that
cheese?
sort the rest of us out into two separate piles. One is garbage called white trash,
Yep.
and the other one is, oh, well, this one's got money, so we got to find a way to get a hold of it.
I don't like money.
So they look at their little chart and they figure out, well, shall we use the public guardian trustee, or can we do it this way, or should we do it that way? We can fake the files over here. We can change a name over here, and we can get the mercenaries to do the dirty work, so that we can get away with the white collar crime, basically. And then put the burden on the victims, my kids, Andre, myself, Uncle John. Only Uncle John can't defend himself. We know that, people. But the rest of us, we have to take it to court. Just like I have to take the guy next door that owns that house to court to deal with this water problem. Just like I have to take the city to court to try and get my chicken back. Because my neighbor sure in the hell didn't care about the chicken. He liked the chicken. The city just doesn't want me to talk about the things that I talk about, people. That they're bringing in mercenaries from Britain and freaking Germany and India and all these places that have money. They don't bring them in from poor countries. They just bring them in from countries that have money, and they can do the government's dirty work. That's it. At the dictatorship of white people that run the show. Because it all boils down to institutional racism, and white people still have a handle on that one. So they think. But there's an undercurrent of brown people moving in with their own set of politics. I've been living in this community 14 years, people. 14 years. Just doesn't make any sense. If you're a sellout, you get ahead in life. If you sell out. If you push the poor out in the streets and you treat them like trash, you get ahead in life. If you stand up for them and you speak out for them, whether you're one of them or not, it doesn't matter. You don't get anywhere. What you do is you end up getting medically kidnapped when you're old and you can't defend yourself, and you get raped of your assets, while your immediate family gets stomped on. So you can bring in more mercenaries, because there's a tide of old people going through the system, people. Ching ching, ching ching, ching ching. Do you get it? So what's going on with the land grabs in Oregon and the rest of the United States isn't much more different than the money grabs going on in these extended care wards and convalescent wards and all. You know what? I feel sorry for people when they get old and they got money. Because all you got is just a bunch of people trying to figure out how they can take it. And I'm starting to think that's why this nonprofit doesn't go anywhere. Because people don't want my family to have anything. They don't sure to hell want me to have anything in terms of success. Because then they'd have to take responsibility for the jobs that they get elected to in terms of looking after the public, right? And not forcing people out into the streets simply because they can tear down old houses and build new condos and sell them to a bunch of Chinese sitting up in freaking China at $1 million a pop. That's really professional, isn't it? Okay, people, February 6th, 2016. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning. Do you see that hole, people? I see it. That's new. That was just done. Obviously, probably a rat, I would say. My cats catch them. Oftentimes, I'll find a big one out here. Okay, so we're gonna work in this corner over here. I'm gonna plant some potatoes today, people. Maybe get some rat poison after I'm done. Lay it out somewhere where only the rats can find it. Right? I'm gonna put some potatoes in here. Half of it anyway. Right? Move some of these bricks. This is for the path. Over by the fence. Clean up this junk. Right? Rinse things off. Pick up this crap that flies all over my yard. Spray this down. You can see that crap is all over the place. I don't know what kind of tree it is, but anyway. I'm just going to work in this little corner for now. Hopefully I won't get too much of a detour. Maybe I'll get in there and give it a quick turnover and pull out some weeds. We'll see. So, we'll be back. Okay, people, you never know what kind of treasures you're gonna find in this yard. Like, seriously. Obviously, do you see that blue tarp? I must have put something there a couple of years ago in terms of composting, because the dirt that I came across, and I'm filling up these little planter pots right now. Oh, it's so nice. So nice, people. It smells so good in terms of dirt, the way dirt is supposed to smell. Right? So, again, you never know what kind of treasure you're gonna find. Okay, people, I'm in the greenhouse right now. I'm gonna do something in here. Right. Try and take off that boat cover. Didn't really work. There's the leek that I took from my garden. Dehydrated a whole bunch for those crackers that I haven't made yet. And it's growing back, you can see. Right, trim this guy down. It's really nice and bushy in this corner. Anyway, I'm just gonna tidy up a little bit and remove some stuff and make some room in here. Andre and I should be planting seeds. So let's see what we can do. I'm on the other side, also on this side, digging up some of these, I don't know what they're called, Ryans or something. Like it's like a root that travels through the dirt, right? From the raspberry bush. Hold on. Okay, starting to get cold again. Getting late. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's like 10 buckets of rocks, people, that came from all over there. My landlady said, "Oh, stop bringing rocks in the yard," because I tend to bring some of the bigger ones. But all these little ones are hers. But, of course, they're my problem, right? So it's going to be back to washing rocks. In the meantime, I've just been kind of starting to clear out this stuff in here. I tell you, people, I am so sick and tired of this mud. I tell you, I must have a lot of patience. Like, seriously. Andre was in here wanting to get ready to start digging potatoes. I've actually found a potato that was frozen all winter long. Anyway, a little bit in the greenhouse. I'll be out here for 2 days. That's all. That's all that's going to happen in here. I got to take off this plastic, this whatever it is, boat cover. It's not doing any good. It's making it too damp in there. But right now, before it gets dark, I'm just going to work in this little corner here. Right. Okay, so this is pretty fucking pointless, people. Like, serious. That's all it is mud. Dirt and mud. You know? I've been weeding and stuff, right? Because the weeds are coming. Picking up the old weeds from before. Just mud, people. That's all it is. I went in there and I took a pitchfork and... because this is a raspberry bush, right? So it's crawling. So I dug up in there, pulled out their little roots. Right? So hopefully I won't get too many sprigs coming up this year. I mean, this here itself, what that is, raspberry bush. It's a healthy one. It produces actually a very lot, a lot of raspberries. Raspberries are expensive to buy. These are tasty. So in that case, you know, it's worth it. But outside of that, people, I don't know. I mean, we know the powers that be are taking advantage of me. They've been taking advantage of me, people, for a long freaking time. You know, people mislead me to think one thing in terms of, oh, well, you know, you put a proposal in and you do it right. You know, you'll get it. Don't worry. Just work on it and yeah, whatever. Doesn't work like that. All right. A lot of gang stalking in this community, people. That's all it is. Just a lot of gang stalking. You know, poverty pimping. A lot of poverty pimping. Anyway, cleaned that up a little bit. Oh, whoop-de-doo-dah. Right. Hold on.